She unblocked you. You noticed, you waited, but nothing. Unblocking you is not a green light. It does not mean you should reach out. And if you think that, you're already failing the test. And I know what you want to think. You want to think that she's unblocking you because she misses you, because she wants you back. And here's the deal. It might, but I want to give you 3 other reasons that she might actually be unblocking you for. Number 1, and this is probably the most likely one, is that she's curious about you, especially if your account is on private or she has no real access to you, or maybe she can text you, but that's it. Maybe you've blocked her, I don't know. Now, I don't suggest doing that, but still, maybe she can't access your social life. She has no idea what you've been up to. You've been in no contact like a good boy, and there's no real back and forth there anymore. There's no new information, and it's driving her nuts. She wants to know what you're up to, and here's why. The curiosity, what underlies that, is her wanting to know if that door to you is still open. She wants to know, yes, if you're dating somebody else, if you've moved on, if you haven't moved on, if you're posting all these sad breakup crap. Underneath all that, the main reason is that she still wants to know if she wanted to. Maybe things aren't working out with her new man, but she wants to know, could I reach back? She wants to know if that door to you is still open just enough so that she can poke her head in and just check. She's not ready to reach out yet, but she's very curious and she wants to know, hey, what are you up to? I haven't heard from you in weeks or months. What in the world have you been up to? Here's the funny part, is that she's the one that blocked you, yes, but now it doesn't feel like that, because if you've done what you should do, which is not block her, even if she blocks you, that means that when she unblocks you, she sees that you just kind of kept living your life. Like, she didn't affect you at all, and that's gonna drive that woman insane. Way more than you blocking her ever would. Now, I've said this in previous videos, but what happens when you break up? Why it's so difficult, especially to get these people out of your mind, is because it's the lack of dopamine, the lack of the emotional cocktail that you had with that person. And you're no longer getting that same hit of dopamine when you were in each other's lives. It's for this reason that we feel the need and compelled to reach out or to check or to stalk a profile, because what we're really after is that little hit of dopamine from them, and we can only get it from them. So that's why when she unblocks you, she all of a sudden has a flood of dopamine that she can just absorb without her reaching out. Because right now, those little hits of dopamine are all she needs, and she's just gonna sit there and absorb it. She's gonna scroll through your entire profile, every comment you've ever made, especially to another girl, and she's gonna be checking and looking and wondering, what have you been up to? What have you been up to? Now, all of this is obviously a really good sign if you're trying to earn her back, and if not, hell, just take it as an ego bump. But first I said it was curiosity, but now I'm telling you the other reason is control. She wants access to you again without the emotional investment for now. Right now, she's not emotionally invested enough to reach out to you. She's not vulnerable enough to reach out to you, but she is vulnerable enough to check your profile. And she knows that she might see something that'll hurt her feelings, but she can't help but check. It's that dopamine, it's that withdrawal symptom. She wants access to you and your profile and your life without the emotional investment, yes, but also without giving you closure, without reopening the door herself. She just wants to know if she could walk back through it. So first was curiosity, next was control. Now we get to regret and fear. Let's start with regret. If she looks back at your profile and she sees that you have started to move on without her, that's fear, yes, but it's also gonna make her regret ever leaving you. If you have moved on, if you're with another girl or anything like that, she might actually screenshot that pic, share it to her group chat with all her girlfriends, and ask them to basically make fun of you or your new girl because she's not as attractive as your old girlfriend was. But all of that is just a defense mechanism. It's her trying to hype herself up with the help of her girlfriends because she knows you moved on without her to somebody better, and she's gonna pick at the only thing that she possibly could, whether it's true or not. See, before, when you guys were in a relationship, she had access to you on a daily basis, up close and personal, but now she doesn't have that. Now she can only see you from a distance, and she's waiting to see what kind of man you are when she's not around. Why she hasn't reached out yet? The number one reason is the fear of rejection. Now let me explain this to you. Fear of rejection works like this. When they eventually decide to reach out to you, they usually don't send texts like, hey, I miss you, I miss what we had, blah, blah, blah. They'll send you a text that's a low-risk text like, hey, as opposed to the one I just described, which was a high-risk text like, I miss you, I still love you, and I want to get back together. Now they may mean that, but they can't risk that. Now here's why. Let's assume you get both texts. let's assume you ignore both of those texts, right? Let's say they're from two different girls, it doesn't matter. The girl that texted you, hey, is not going to feel as bad if you ignore that text as the girl who put her heart on the line and you ignored that. That's gonna devastate this girl over here. She's not gonna recover from that anytime soon. That's why women, when they reach back out and they fear rejection, they simply text, hey, what have you been up to? Hi, what's going on? These little low-risk texts are meant to test the water with you so that they can open up to a high-risk text with you and not be rejected. But it goes beyond just rejection, right? There's guilt on her end. She knows how things ended. Now, I'm assuming that you didn't really do anything that bad, okay? Maybe you were toxic as hell, I get that. But usually, to be completely honest, in relationships, it's both people's fault. Y'all both screw up. And when two people screw things up, it's up to both people to eventually come together, reconcile, and apologize. But again, they're not gonna lead with that. They're going to lead with, hey, something low risk, so that if the worst possible thing happens and you ignore them or you explode on them, they can play the victim, they can be defensive, or they can just shut you down and they didn't really lose much emotional energy, if you want to call it that. Along with fear and guilt comes pride and ego. Now, this is the modern feminist. Even if they broke up with you, it doesn't matter. You better grovel at their feet or else you'll never hear from them again. It's like, okay, follow their profiles of the same girls who say that stuff and see how many times they've reached back out to their old exes. It's like, they'll never understand that the guys that they actually date are so much different than the guys they say they actually want or what they're attracted to. Like, it will never click with them. Those types of girls whose pride and ego they wear like an armor in the form of a dress, by the way, those girls still reach out, don't get me wrong, but there's an added layer on top of them reaching out, which is pride and ego, because God forbid they put themselves at your mercy. God forbid they open up or be vulnerable with you. And here's an obvious one. All of the feelings and things like that aside, no contact is something that's really well known now. 10, 20 years ago, going no contact with somebody, it wasn't really heard of, at least the term wasn't. So your ex knows that you're going no contact with them. At least there's a real good chance of her understanding what you're actually doing. And what they'll often do is that they'll try to go no contact with you in response to you going no contact with them. And they think you're gonna break first. And it's sort of like a test, and that's how you've got to see this. So even if they unblock you, they're trying to open the doorway for you and say, you can go ahead and chase me, it's fine, I'm not gonna treat you that badly. But it's like, yeah, the second you do that, go ahead and grovel at their feet. Go ahead and text them and see how that turns out, because I promise you, it's not gonna go how you think. Even if you end up hooking up again, and it works out great for a week, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a week. And then we're gonna go through the same thing again, but it's gonna be worse this time because now it's not gonna work. What we're talking about is a long-term strategy to actually get them back or to actually get them to reach out to you. And as far as a short-term strategy, go ahead and text them. Maybe you can get another weekend or two out of them. A long-term strategy, don't. Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna flip that power dynamic. You're gonna give them all the power back that your silence has bought you. And if you think that women will treat you well when they have the upper hand, you have not been paying attention, my friend. All that being said, she basically wants the comfort of knowing that she could reach out. That door is still open without actually doing it. And that's not courage, that's emotional limbo. Now, obviously, the mistake that most guys make here is that they reach out. They take it as a sign, and they're right. You're half right. It's a sign that she's softening, that she's open to you, that she may want to have another conversation with you, that she's at least thinking about you. You're right on every single one of those, but if you reach out, you will kill your masculine dynamic, man. Bro, I'm begging you. We don't need more guys like that. Just relax. Feel good about it. I know how that feels. I've been there, man. It feels great and you want to reach out, but you don't. See, I'm thinking about it right now. I'm getting excited because I remember those feelings and they were so good. But man, I'm telling you, when they reach out, it's gonna feel even better. And the thing is, you're not gonna punish them for it. You're not gonna exactly make it easy for them to get to you again, at least you shouldn't. But yeah, I mean, it's good to feel good, right? Now, this is the part where guys also flip, is that when you don't message, when you don't reach out after you notice they unblocked you, they're gonna start pinging you. And what I mean by that is they're gonna post bait on their profiles. All of it is gonna be aimed at you. They're gonna post these sexy pics, they're gonna post memes about you, they're gonna post any sort of content that would get your attention, that would get you to react to their post, to anything like that. And I'm telling you right now, you do that and it's not gonna work. Now, I am actually 100% okay if after they've unblocked you, let's say they upload something, not to their story, okay? The story doesn't count, that's too personal, but to their actual feed, and it's something like a PlayStation, and you know that you play PlayStation, and you know that they're probably trying to ping you, you may, one time and one time only, like that post. You're gonna give them a little breadcrumb, a little, sure, here you go, you gave me a big breadcrumb, you gave me like half a loaf, and I'm gonna give you a little breadcrumb, okay? Because I want you to know that I'm still open to this too, but you're really gonna have to work harder for that. So it's okay to breadcrumb literally one time and not again. They'll do other things like check your stories. They'll be watching every single story that you post. But again, you can't watch their stories. You can't like their stories. You can't do anything like that. What that does is it makes them think that now that they've opened that door a little bit, that you'll start to chase them and they will, you guessed it, pull away. The moment you react, she wins the power dynamic. Let her sit in the silence that she chose. This part's easier said than done, but you do nothing. It's okay to give her one little breadcrumb after she unblocks you, just to let her know, yeah, I noticed what you did, that's okay. But you are not to do it again until she reaches out, okay? So if she reaches out to you, you may breadcrumb her again sometime in the future, but right now, she's literally only allowed one breadcrumb until she reaches out. That's it. Don't do it again. You're gonna keep doing the same thing you've been doing, which is stay in true no contact, stay in the gym, level up, work on yourself. You're gonna treat her unblocking you for what it really is. And what it really is a ping to you, not an invitation. If she truly wanted a conversation, she'd start one. Unblocking you isn't a gift, it's just bait. It's bait to get you to reach out to her so that she can regain control of the power dynamic between you and get you to chase her all over again, so that she can reject you all over again. And the men who win this game don't chase those crumbs. So yeah, there's a very high chance she is stalking your profile, but don't let her see the man that she's used to seeing. Let her see the man that you're currently becoming. Little bro, you've got this. I've got you, and I'll see you in the next one.